Hey y'all, welcome to Large Craft Zone. Now this is going to be a super simple album. It's kind of going to be, it is going to be a trifold album. It is one of the most simple albums that you will ever make. It is super easy. Now for this, y'all, I did use digital paper. I really couldn't find a paper collection that I liked a whole lot as far as school goes, so I did download this one. So this is going to be a digital paper collection album. Now, we're going to use black cardstock. I'm going to use my art glitter glue. We've got some 1/4-inch score tape, bone folder, distress ink. Now, these are also printed off. These are digital frames. So I just kind of done these, in different sizes and different colors to match our paper collection here. So that's that. I'm going to be using, I don't know if I'll use all of those in this album, but this is the paper collection. I'm not going to, go through each one, but these are the ones that I printed off. It is a 10-pack, and I will say that it does use a lot of ink. I'm not a fan of digital paper downloads, but I love the school buses. So that is the main reason why I done this collection. All right, so we're going to go ahead and get started, y'all. Like I said, this is very simple, so we're just going to go ahead and jump in here. Now, I do have my measurements wrote down here if you want to screenshot that. And, I had to kind of play around and mess with a few little measurements. But, let's see. This is kind of like my little prototype, and this is just simple, plain copy paper. So this is what it's going to look like, y'all. It is just like this. Now, we are going to be making this in the black. I did choose to do it in the black. We're going to have a little pocket here. Now, if you want to use punches, you can also use the punches. Now, I'm only going to use punches on my band, on my little closure piece here. If I use a punch, then maybe not. I may use one on the pocket. I don't know, y'all. Just depends on what we come up with. All right, so let me plug up my telephone first off. Oh, and I do want to say that I have noticed, I've gotten a lot of comments about the video being sideways. Well, I told y'all that, it's been over 3 years since I've made an album, so I do apologize for that. I am kind of, working on things again. And the camera angle is not the same as what it used to be. However, I have been, these past 4 videos that I've uploaded, I did upload them straight from the telephone to YouTube. So I'm going to change that. I'm going to do it to the computer and then to YouTube. So maybe, I can do a little more editing or, flipping stuff around and get it right. So I do apologize, for that. But work with me, y'all. Bear with me. We are going to get this right. All right, first off, we're going to need a sheet that is, okay. I'm kind of getting ahead of myself, y'all. I'm super nervous again because it's been so long. All right, this album is going to measure 5.5 by 7.5. All right, so we're going to start with a 7.5 by 11. So 7.5 by 11. I did put a 1/4-inch strip of tape here. You're going to need a 5 by 7.5. So 5, 7.5. All right, I've got my 1/4-inch strip here. I'm going to peel this off. And let me get my score pile here because I'm going to show you a little easy way, to try to keep your papers lined up. Now, I was taught this. I've seen this before by Tamara on Country Craft Creation. She did show this, and that is actually where I learned to do this part from. So you're going to butt up your 2 pieces here. All right, you've got your 1/4-inch. I'm just going to line mine at the 6. I'm going to take this and I'm just going to overlap it. I do have this butted up at the top there. Hold on. All right. I don't think my paper is straight. For some reason, my paper is not looking straight here. All right, but let's work with it. Okay. So I'm just going to butt it up here to the top. Yeah, my paper isn't straight. So then I'm just going to lay it down. And y'all tell me because used to it wasn't this bad. Now, I have noticed with the paper collections, or not collections, the cardstock nowadays is not cut straight at all, like at all. So I've had to, you know, do some trimming on some of mine before I actually make the albums. So y'all let me know, like, am I the only one having these problems or what? All right, now we're going to take this and we are going to score at, all right, 5.5. So we're going to score at 5.5. And let's see, 6 3/4. So 5.5 and 6 3/4. Okay, now I'm going to flip it around and I'm going to score at, let's see, 2. And then I'm going to score at 3 1/4. Okay. And everything else, y'all, I've already scored, but I did not score this ahead of time because I wanted to make sure that I got it right. All right, so now you have your long sheet. You're going to score at 5.5, 6 3/4. You want me to hold this up for you? Because I know some people, you know, like for me to hold it up. 5.5, 6 3/4. All right, and then we're going to take and flip it around. You're going to score at 2 and 3 1/4. Okay, so I'm going to set this to the side. All right, now let's fold everything up. Okay, so I'm just going to fold. And then I'm going to fold again. Okay, yeah, and see, like right here, that's not straight, so I will trim that off right there. All right, then I'm going to open it up. I'm just going to fold this one down. And burnish that one because it was not straight. All right, and then I'm going to fold this last one. Okay, now let me get my little cutter. And just let me trim this up right here. And y'all, it's really no big deal, but sometimes stuff like this does bother me. See how we have just a little bit, like it's not a big difference, but you know, just that little bit right there, that will bug me. So I am going to trim that off. I'm looking at it on both sides here. And again, y'all, if this, you know, is kind of, see, all it cut was that little teeny piece right there. I don't even know if you can see it. But that's all it cut off, y'all, but that was going to drive me crazy. All right. So now let's keep going. All right, so now we have, this is kind of like our book part. All we're going to do now, see, this is what we have now. Ta-da! All right, now we're going to make the pages to go in here. So now what you want, and y'all, this is my closure, but I do want to make sure that I have enough space before, you know, I give those measurements. All right, now you're going to need 8 pieces that are 7 1/4 by 11. So you're going to need 8 of these. All right, so you need 8 pieces that are 7 1/4 by 11. You're going to score at 5 1/4, and you're going to score at 10 1/2. Okay, so you have your 7 1/4 inch this way, your 11 inch this way. You're going to score at 5 1/4, and you're going to score at 10 1/2. All right, you're going to do this to all 8 sheets. Okay, so once you have that done, you're going to have all 8 of these. All right, we're going to stick those to the side. Now we have a pocket. Now our pocket is going to be 4 3/4 by 8. All right, so you have 4 3/4 by 8. All right, you're going to score it a half, flip around, score it a half, flip around, score it a half. Okay, now we're going to take it. We're going to trim our little edges, just like this. We're going to cut these little corners off. Okay. And y'all, this album is perfect for beginners. This is perfect for craft shows, craft fairs. little small gifts. And I done mine in a school theme. Y'all, you can do yours however you want to. You can do it in a birthday theme, Halloween, Christmas, baby. Just a really pretty paper collection that you have. Alright, so this is going to be our pocket. Now, I'm going to glue down, and let me get a scrap piece here, because I am going to have that brown come out. See where that brown... That's only because, and y'all don't like to use that brown, but that is only because I don't have the correct pen in mine. Now, I did order some more, so I do have some more glue with the correct pen. All right, I'm just going to hold this down for a couple of seconds here. Let me find me some little clips up here, clip them, and they can be bonding while I work on the other. All right, let me put this to the side. Okay, now we're going to take our pages. We're going to start folding. All right, so we're just going to fold down. Now, when I done this part, this is how I done mine. Okay, you're going to take, all right, I want my little 1/2 inch flap on my left side. Now, this is just the way I'm doing mine. If you're left-handed, you can always flip it over. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue down this back piece. This whole entire back piece is going to be glued in here. All right. And then my flap is going to go this way. I think that's how I have this one. Let me check. Let me check, y'all. Okay, yes. All right. So I'm going to fold it, and then I'm going to fold my 1/2 inch up this way. Okay. All right, so that's what I have now. All right, now I'm going to take and I'm going to glue this down in here. So let me open this. Now you can always use score tape and glue. You know, I love my score tape and my glue. But for video purposes, you know, it took me a while on my last album, so I'm not going to do that. All right, now we want to go in between our two seams here. Do not go to the seam. You want to go in between. You're going to eyeball. You know, I'm going to turn this sideways so I can see what I'm doing here, because this is black and it is a little harder to see. All right, I need to go down. So before you go pressing, now make sure that you have it where you want it. Okay. Pull it this way just a tad. All right, so that kind of looks even. So we're gonna press it down. All right, I'm just gonna burnish, burnish, burnish. Okay, now you want to make sure that you burnish this really good. Now we are going to be using design paper. And y'all, something about this album, you don't have to use design paper. You can always, you know, just put your photos on here. I do have some pictures. Let me grab some here. And these are just a few. Now this one, you know, does have the back on it. But see, you can always just put your photos on here. Now these are some, you know, that I've just got in my stash. And this is my family. This is a couple years ago. So, you know, you can always just add your photos. You do not whatsoever have to use design paper. But, you know, I like to. So, we're going to take our next one. We're going to fold. And y'all don't pay attention to, you know, which ways you fold it, because you can always fold it the opposite way if you need to. Okay. So we're going to take this one. Now, what I like to do, now you can always put it on top here, just like that. But I'm going to put mine maybe underneath. One reason why I like to put it underneath is because I know, you know, that it's going to be straight. Okay, so if I do that, then it's going to be straight in there. All right, so let me take my glue. I'm going to take it to the inside, and again, you can always use score tape and your glue, or just your score tape, whatever. Do not go below your seam line there. Okay, so I hope you can see this on here. All right, so I'm going to take this, fold this up, don't fold it down. Okay, I'm just going to butt this up against each other here. I'm going to line it up. Okay, I'm going to have it where I want it, then I'm going to press. Okay, and what I did, y'all, is I just lined it up with the one that's underneath here. See that little bit of the glue come out? Just wipe it off. Okay, so now this is what we have. Now we're just going to continue to do that. All right, we're just going to add our pages. So fold, fold, burnish. That's what you're going to do to all of these. Fold, fold, burnish. Now some people don't, like to watch the whole thing. Some people do. So if you don't want to watch me fold and burnish, then you're more than welcome to fast forward. And I hope, y'all, that I can get this video uploaded correctly to where it is not sideways on the screen. I didn't realize that it was sideways on the screen when I uploaded it. But I've had several people, comment that my videos are sideways, so I do apologize. So I am working out the kinks. Like I said earlier, y'all just kind of bear with me. And I will get it again. So here we go. Something else I want to tell everybody, my tutorials are free. I never charge, I never have, and I never will. There are so many people that used to charge. I'm not sure, if everybody does or not anymore, but that is one thing that you will find is I do not charge. So all of my tutorials are free. So if there's something that you don't like, or you think I should be doing, then sorry. These are free. I do not get paid to do this. Alright, so we have all of our pages done. And I'm just going to, same thing as a while ago, y'all. I'm just going to be adding my glue to the inside here. Get that little bit off the thing there. Alright, don't go below. And again, if you want to fast forward this part, because this is pretty simple. Alright, you're just going to take your page, lay it down. Alright, line it up where you want it. Okay, once you have it where you want it, fold down. Fold down and burnish. Alright, got a little glue. Just run your fingernail or, a dry paper towel. Something down there. Alright, we're going to take our next one. Same thing, we're just going to glue. Okay. Alright. I'm going to take it, line it up, fold down and burnish. But y'all see how simple this is? Like, this is so simple. Alright, and you are going to be able to hold a lot of photos in this album. It is a 5.5 by 7.5 album. And we have 8 pages, plus the pocket. So, you can get a lot in this album. Alright. Fold down and burnish. Okay, one thing I will say, I wish I would have went a little closer to this side. But that's alright, because it's going to work out just fine. Okay. Our glue, our page. Okay, press press it down. And y'all, you can always do this in white. You can do this in a color. You know, you can do this however, whatever color you want to. You can actually do this in just design paper if you wanted to, and not the solid cardstock. All right. Fold that up. Line it up. Okay. Gonna press and burnish. Last one. Now this is our last page. Okay. Now, oh, I forgot to cut the top one, because we are going to need a top piece. Okay, so guess what? We're going to do that too. We're going to cut that here on the video. All right, so we have all of this. Now, we need one piece that we're going to put over top of this, and that piece is going to be a 5 1/4 by 7 1/4. All right, so let me move this to the side. Let me get out. Y'all, I've got several cutters over here with me. All right, 5 1/4 by 7 1/4. So we're gonna do 5 1/4. Okie dokie here. This one is kind of hard to see. I don't really. 5 1/4 by 7 1/4. I don't really like this cutter for when I'm recording, because it is hard to see these little numbers up here. See that? So I do have several cutters, but they are all Fiskars that I like to use. All right, now this one, let me write this down. It's going to be 5 1/4 by 7 1/4. Okay, so this is going to be our top sheet, 5 1/4 by 7 1/4. Now for this one, I am going to glue this one right on top here. Okay, so I'm going to take my glue. Let me burnish this down. Okay, just going to take my glue and run right on the top of this. Let me hold it up so we can see it. All right. Now I'm just going to take this one and lay it right on top of this. All right. Again, y'all, before you press it down, make sure you have measured it. You got it straight, centered, all of that good stuff before you go to pressing. Okay. So I have it where I want it. And I'm going to press and burnish. All right. Got a little glue coming out. That's all right. All right, y'all, look at there. So this is what we have. Ta-da! I'm gonna wipe that little bit of glue right there off so it doesn't make my pages stick. All right, ta-da! Now, the only thing we have left to do now, y'all, is put the pocket on this side. So our pocket is our 4 3/4 by 8. We scored it a half, flip, scored it a half, flip, scored it a half, nipped our little corners down here, and glue those together. All right, so I'm just gonna lay this on this side. All right, and then I'm gonna glue this down. I am going to put design paper down before I do this part, so I'm just gonna show you this is what it's gonna look like. So just let me we're gonna pretend that this is glued on. Okay, so this is our pocket. Now, I may also use my circle punch and cut a little circle hole right here. Like I said, I'm adding my design paper first before I put my pocket down. I do not have it cut, so once I have it cut, then I'll put my pocket down. All right, so that is what we have. All right, now we are going to make our band, our little belly band. All right, so that is what we have. Super easy, super simple. Now, you can always you know, add all kind of little embellishments or whatever. But look at all of this space, y'all, that you have for photos. And it kind of like just keeps going and going and going and going. All right, so that's that way. And then when you flip it this way, the same thing, y'all. Look at all of this space. This will hold a ton of pictures. And it will also hold, let me measure it out though first before I tell you. I think I've got it to where it'll hold a 5x7. Let's see here. Yes, it will hold a 5x7. I know my measurements are 5 1/4 by 7 1/4, which means 5x7. But I always like to measure before I tell you. So this will hold a 5x7 photo, y'all. So if you've got, you know, pictures from kindergarten all the way to 12th grade, you know, and they are the 5x7, because, you know, we all love to buy our school pictures. This is perfect. All right, so now we need to make our belly band. So for our belly band, we're gonna need 1 1/4 by 11. Now I chose 1 1/4 because, y'all, this is a scrap off of one of the other pieces. So 1 1/4 by 5, 1 1/4 by 11. I did add my 1/4 inch tape. So let's take that off. Let me take my little pieces here, just line it up here. Okay. Press that down. All right, now we are going to score this. Let me press that down. All right, so for this, we're going to score, let's see, where do I have it? Wraparound closure, we're going to score at, now this is the one that I it took me a few measurements to do. All right, at a 3, we're going to score at 3. We're going to score at 4 1/2. All right, we're going to score at 10 1/4. And we're going to score at 11 3/4. All right, so we are all the way at the edge here. Okay, so we are scoring at 3, 4 1/2, 10 1/4, and 11 3/4. Okay, so that's where we scored. Now we're going to just fold this up. All right. Now this is going to be our belly band. Let me get our little album over here. And it's going to wrap around just like this. Now, I do not have mine glued, and I'm not going to glue it until the end. I guess, you know, I could glue it now. But the reason why I'm not gluing mine till the end, y'all, is because I want to make sure, because this paper that I use, y'all, the digital paper collection that I'm using, I did print it on cardstock. I did not print this on copy paper or any little thin paper. This is your 65-pound weight cardstock. So this is going to add some bulk to the album. Now, I may just add some solid sheets in here, because I'm telling you, it ate up some ink printing just that little bit. So once I have that done, what I'm going to do is I'm just going to lay it like this. And how it is laying is how I'm going to glue it. So actually, let me just, I don't know, y'all, let me just glue it. Let me just glue it on here. All right, we're just going to kind of eyeball. And if you want this to be perfect, then, you know, don't follow me on this part. We are just going to, my glue dried up. We're just going to kind of eyeball it. And make us about a little 1-inch square there. All right. I'm going to take this part off. And glue it on here. All right. Before I press. And y'all, I'm just eyeballing this. Nothing has to be perfect, okay? But I know some of us, you know, we want it to be perfect. But look at there. There's our little belly band. All right. So I am going to burnish this down. So there we go. Now we have our little belly band. Now you can decorate. Ta-da! Now, yes, it is loose. Right now, it is a little loose. You know, it moves very freely. But like I said, I do have to add my design paper, and that is going to bulk up the album just a little bit. So that is why I made it just a little bit larger. You know, it's not snug fit on here because you are going to add your design paper and your photos. You don't want it to be so snug that, you know, you can't even get it on. So there you go. Ta-da! Alright, y'all, that's our little simple 5x7 album. And y'all, I'm going to be honest, I don't even know if I'm going to use this paper collection, because there's a lot of photos in here, and I don't know if I'm going to have enough of paper printed off, and I don't want to use every single bit of my ink. Like, I just bought brand new cartridges, and I printed 20 sheets, maybe 25 sheets, and I'm almost out. So I may choose another paper collection. I'm not going to guarantee this is the collection that we're going to use. I'm going to try it and see how many pages, you know, we can get out of it. But if I don't have enough of this, y'all, I am going to change up the paper collection. Anyway, this was a super quick and simple, less than 30-minute mini album. So I hope everybody enjoys, and I hope that I do have my angle right and you are not having to watch it sideways. So I hope you all enjoyed, and I will post a finished product on a separate video. So this is just the tutorial. Y'all have a great day. Bye, y'all. Thanks for watching.